Hey team, hope everybody is having an awesome Friday. Excuse my crazy look. I worked out at like 9:30 this morning and still haven't got to shower today, but that's the life of a mom, right? So I wanted to chat a little bit about when you're talking with potentials, how do you keep them engaged? How do you keep the conversation going? And when there happens to be that lull, what do you do? And when you're not sure, like, how do I keep this going and what do I do? So I'm going to give some tips on how to address this and what you need to do in those situations. So asking questions. So that is number one. At the end of every single message you send someone, you always need to ask them some form of a question. I know when I make initial contact with somebody, I like to ask them, I'm not sure if you've seen any of my Plexus posts or not. I do post a lot, but has anything about that piqued your interest? That gets that little bit like, have you even been seeing my posts, first of all? And secondly, if you haven't been, then you can lead into more conversation about what Plexus has to offer and asking them again, do any of these things pique your interest, such as blood sugar regulation and gut health and reducing inflammation or reducing bloat, or helping with skin issues and stuff like that. So if they haven't seen any of your posts, then you give them a little information, ask if any of that information has piqued their interest. Really important to ask them, ask for their opinion. A lot of people want to be heard, and if you just spew all that information, you're probably not going to get a response. So make sure that you're asking them that. Next, and that this goes right along with engaging with your potential. So once they tell you what has piqued their interest, give them more information on that, and then ask them, what was I clear in giving you the information that you were searching for? Is this something that sounds like that you would be interested in? And each conversation is going to be different. Not every single one is going to be textbook. So I could give you an example, and I've done definitely examples, but just know that every conversation is going to go a little bit different. So you're going to answer their question, and then ask them how they feel about it. That's also a really big one. Ask them how they're feeling about the information you give them. If, it's okay to ask them, I know I sent you a lot of info, but is there certain pieces that you picked up that that you had questions about or that you liked? Something along those lines. So next is investing in their health goals. So once you've gotten to know, at least this is how I like to do it. Once I've gotten to know the person a little bit more, and I might already know them, so maybe I just needed to reconnect. Sorry, my hair is just like tweaking. Then I might ask them, so what are your specific health goals that you would like Plexus to help you with, or health goals that that you have that you would like addressed? That way I can specifically give you products that will work for you. And I think that end part right there is key. I want to be able to give suggestions for products that will work specifically for you. So you're letting them know that I am invested in your health goals and I want to find things that are actually going to work for you, not just give you a bunch of stuff so that hoping that you'll buy the biggest package and spend the most money, because that's not what we're after. You want to be investing in those health goals that they have. That's why it's super important to be able to ask them what those health goals are. And then next, it never hurts to ask what their objections might be. So maybe you'd given them a lot of information, the conversation was going great, they said they were going to order and then they didn't. Okay, and then maybe a month goes by and you message, hey, just wanted to check in with you, I saw this great video and wanted to give you some, send it to you for additional information. And also just wanted to see if, if you were still interested in Plexus, if this is something that you wanted to incorporate into your daily routine. Something along those lines. Or, I really would like to be able to get you started, and I'm just curious if you had some hesitations, what they were. I would love to answer any more of your questions. So acknowledging that they might have some kind of objection or they might have some kind of hesitation, and then they're more likely to open up. Maybe it's cost, maybe it's time in their life, whatever the case may be. So you just want to keep that dialogue going. I have people that I have contacted 7 or 8 times who have never responded, and maybe I just haven't given them exactly what they were looking for. Maybe they just weren't ready yet. So just continue to ask those questions, engaging in the conversation, and not always just saying, checking in with you. Just simply saying, hey, just checking in with you. Sometimes I think that's okay. Like if you're checking in with an ambassador or something like that. But to do that with a potential who hasn't ever ordered yet, more than likely they're not going to respond to you. So make sure you're giving them pieces of information, that you are asking about their health goals, that you're asking them maybe what those objections or hesitations may be, and then also asking about their health goals. So hope you all are having a great Friday, and have an awesome weekend.